This conference will now be recorded.
Morning. Today I wish to continue with a few small tools in image modification or image editing, and then further I'll be continuing with image modification tool. Now, if you ask me what are all the things which are still not covered in image editing tool. So if you see, yesterday I taught you eyedropper tool, which I said eyedropper is eye. If you press eyedropper tool will pick up color from anywhere. See, you have picked up the color, then you can average the color by 3.3, or you can pick a point sample that is directly what is the color value over there, and then the averages. So this is an eyedropper tool which I explained yesterday. Okay, now there are many other tools here which are listed here which I forgot to actually teach you yesterday, and so that I would have to teach you. And yesterday I think I stopped with that, with just the eyedropper tool, the first one. These things I didn't teach you, so I want to continue with that. And I want to get into image manipulation tool, image manipulation, which is like little more than image modification, with more things can be added, more effects can be added, or more adjustments to the image, seamless adjustment of the image, etc., can be done in image manipulation. Editing means it is a very brute way of doing it. You can just cut something, paste something. This is called editing. Manipulation is a skilled work. It is a highly skilled work. So that will go to the next level. Okay. So yesterday I also taught you paint bucket tool, but I didn't teach you the gradient tool and 3D material drop tool. Only one of these tools, and only one of these tools. So I stopped with that, and I said I'll continue in the next class. Now today I am teaching you. See, uh, there is something called 3D material eyedropper, which I won't be teaching you now, because that is something connected to 3D or Photoshop, which is not definitely needed for you because you are more expert in other 3D softwares, which does a far better job than this. So I am not teaching you this, but as I told you, I am teaching under perception that I am teaching you an architecture and interior design student. Okay, so I'll be teaching you this. I'll be teaching you this, all this, except for the second topic, 3D material eyedropper. And even when I am teaching you this paint bucket, I won't be teaching you the third option, but the gradient and paint bucket I already taught you. Only I have only one which I have left with is the gradient tool. So that I'll be also teaching you. Okay. Now, when I started with eyedropper, I explained it to you that it is picking color. Didn't I tell you? And you can pick the point sample or an average of so many pixel by so many pixel, so many pixel by so many pixel. And I explained you what is the difference between a point sample and blah blah. All those things I've cleared. But and I forgot to tell you one thing, that if you click this color, it gives a detail of what kind of a color it is, in which spectrum. This is a color spectrum, in which part of the spectrum it is, and which is the lightest color of that and darkest color of that. All these things are there in this place, in this dialog box. And over here there are few values written down. Now these are the values that allows you to reproduce the same color whenever you wanted. Reproduce the color whenever you wanted. Okay. So sometimes color, in certain industry, the color is represented by hue, saturation and balance. So it is HSB. Okay, brightness, sorry, hue, saturation and brightness. That is how sometimes you will represent color. Sometimes it is represented as RGB, red, green, blue. Some place it is represented as CMYK. Okay, cyan, magenta, yellow, and K stands for black. And sometimes it is referred as LAB. So these are different ways you represent the color, and these it has sometimes this is called web color. The last one is called web color. In an internet, color is represented like this. If you pick up color, so this color is CDC5C1, or this color can be called as in RGB. It can be, this is web color, this is RGB. It can be called as 205, 197, 193. Okay. Okay. Now, if you want to get the same color, what you can do is, okay, you can take a note of it. RGB. What is RGB? What is RGB? 205, 197, and 193. So you can note it down. And web color, it is, where is it now? Control C, Control. We can just note this color down. Whenever you want, you can pick up the same color. I'll explain how. So after this, I go to this color, I pick this color, then I pick this color, and then I felt that, oh my God, the color which we picked up earlier is better than all these colors. So I don't remember that color. I don't remember in the sense visually, I don't remember the color. But if you have noted down this, it is going to be very helpful. How it is going to be helpful? If you want to get back the color, double click here. Okay, select this thing, Control C, and select this area and give Control V. It will come back to the same color. Okay, it not only come back to the same color, you will also notice that it matches with the RGB color which is noted down earlier. So there is a numerical way or alphanumerical way to pick up a color from anywhere, to represent a color in number or alphanumerical. Alphanumerical, what I refer to is this web color. Numerical way, these are all numerical expressions only. Through this also we can represent a particular color, and it can be chosen, it can be reused. At times I'll be using these things in my another software which I use, 3D Max. We'll be using these things because it is a game of color over there. Interior, how it looks, this color will look better or that color will look better. So soon as I pick something, soon as I pick a color, I'll note down in a notepad, just as how I did this. Maybe I'll have a title like wall color or something like that. I'll so that I will remember these color values and all that, and I may go front and come back to the same color and all that. This is what I do. So this is a very good way of you know uh, remembering the color or writing down the color. Otherwise, there is no way that you can write down the color. How will you write down this color, same color? You should have a very good picture memory, or you should write it down. So this is the option which I taught you, is about writing down. All right, now why this much of explanation on that? So that is because I am going to teach you the next option called color sample tool. Okay, now if supposing if I want to pick up a sample of color. Okay, now I can, if I click here, okay, if I click here, it says 1. Don't you see 1? 1. So this color is written down over here. 117, 167, and 255. Then if I click one more click here, this is 117, 160, number two is this 145, 187, and 234. And if I click here, this is the third color. So this is an image sampler. It takes sample, color sampler. It takes sample out of this image, what all type of colors are there, and it writes down for you. It is helpful for you. If you click here, It is another color, fourth color. Color number 4 is 172, 59, 110. So if you want to get this fourth color, what you have to do? You have to double click here and you have to type RGB 172, 59, and 10. So that this one, the new, this one is the color this is picked here. Okay, if you want to test the first one is here. You want to get the same color, you just type here and see 117, 167, and 225. 225. And I have given. Okay, so you saw that it matches the color over here. Yes. So this is a color sampler which allows you to pick how many colors you want, and it will save. It will be saving it. It will be continuously saving over here. It will show what all color is picked. Sample number 10 is 94, 31, 8. So it is very clear. If you want to make use of colors from the images, this is an excellent method where you can write it down. Okay, so and next one is, see, these I'm teaching these because, okay, I can also say clear all. So I removed that color. Ruler is not used much, but then you can measure from here to here. It will say L1. The length of this line is 1178 pixel. Actually, now the unit is kept in pixel, so it is in pixel. Or from here to here, the length is, you can press shift for the line to go 45 degree or 90 degree or horizontally 180 degree. I have pressed shift and I am drawing it. So it says L1 is 771. And it is true. If you see here, just move this fellow here. So where is the end? So it is 771. Okay. Okay. So you can make out millimeter is 7. Or if you check image canvas size, you see that in pixel. If you check in pixel, 768. Also a little longer than that. I think I extended that line beyond the canvas length. Somewhere it is beyond the camera canvas length, so that is why it is showing 771. Yes, it is 2 mm beyond canvas length. So this is how you can make use of the ruler. And there is one more thing, note. So see, these commands are not really useful till this, I agree. Even this is used in a very lesser times than eyedropper tool. We always use eyedropper tool, but this one we don't use that much. Ruler, that even not that much. Note tool. Note tool is nothing but you can make a note of something. Okay, like Mount, so Yellowstone. Sorry, Yellowstone. Okay, so I made a note and I made an entry over here. So these notes can be seen whenever necessary. You can just pick up this note, so you will find what is written over here, like a post it on your computer. You can type something and keep it if you want to note something. Okay, these options are not really used in our industry. It is mainly used in things like criminology and all that, where there is a chance that you need to keep notes of all the things there in the photograph itself, mainly in such area where you need to keep a note on photograph. Maybe fashion designing, you'll keep a note on the image itself, something which is needed. With criminology, you need to make a note of things on the picture, some evidence collected, you want to make a note on the picture itself. So these are not used on day-to-day basis in our industry, but just then I'm just trying to teach you what it is. That's all. Not so important. Okay. So I will want to show you one more important thing, mm, which is numbering. So here, uh, okay, so I've just kept a sample here. Then we can go to the next part is count. Now count is, you can count something in a picture very easily with this. Again, this is not used in our thing. Maybe sometimes, rarely we will also use in design sheet and all, maybe to give a count or write down something with a number. You can just click, it says number one. Okay, number one in red. I assume that that's a particular kind of a car. So, and so I'll go on clicking number two, number three, number four, number five, number six, number seven, number eight, number nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's one more car there. I mean, van there. So there are 18 and 19, and this is a car. This is not a van. There are almost 19 vans in this photograph. All of a sudden, if I tell you to count, it will be very difficult. You can just go on clicking, so you will get the number. Also, you can change the color. For example, if you want to represent black color painted van by yellow color, you can do that. You can say like this and press clear. Now click. This is black. This is black. There are two vans that are black in color. The rest is all white and gray. No, I think all are gray. One, two, three, four. Four are in gray color. So 18, 19 minus 4, 15 white ones and 4 gray ones. So you can make an count on certain things using this particular tool, and so that's about it. That's about the tools which I am which are needed in image modification. This comes of part of eyedropper tool. All of them will have a shortcut I, so that is why you have to press shift I, and you can change between them like this. Also, you have a good look on what all other tools are there with eyedropper tool, because sometimes you would have used this one, and when you press I, it will still get stuck. You won't see your eyedropper tool which you want. So use shift I to toggle between these tools. All right. So now we have come to the end of that eyedropper tool, and we are going to more interesting subjects which is more connected to our industry. So I'll explain what are all those. Okay. So now coming back to this picture itself, see, you see there is something called, these are all image manipulation tools. I'll explain what it is. Okay, this is called spot healing tool. What is spot healing tool? If you click spot healing tool, and if you want to erase this mountain out of this peak out of the sky, you can very well use the spot healing tool, because it will understand what is behind by just clicking at the edge of it and dragging it, dragging it like this. If you do, see, some of the image is gone. Image is gone. So peak is becoming shorter. Peak is becoming shorter. You saw that? Peak is day by day becoming shorter. So I am making it shorter. So I'm going to cover this area. So when you do that, sort of there's a hill in the behind and this peak got shorter really. So all these kind of adjustments you can use by spot healing tool. I'll just try to save this as my sample and show you what is the difference. So what is the difference? Desert. I'm not saving this. So I'll open two deserts, both the desert one and desert. Makes a big difference. This is desert one and this is the original desert. So you can try to do such manipulation with this tool. Now there is something called healing brush tool. Now, okay, if you try to do the same thing with healing brush tool, it is not giving a good result. It is never giving a good result. Okay, because this is not for erasing the peak or something. For that, you have to pick up the healing brush tool. You have to pick up which has to be used for erasing or which background has to be used for erasing. So for that you have to press Alt and click this area and do like this. Sorry. Even then it doesn't look great. So that is why I say each tool is meant for every tool is meant for some different purpose. Okay, I'll open this lady with a wrinkle here. So how this healing brush tool works? See, I am going to pick up the skin from here by pressing Alt in the healing brush tool, and I'm going to do it here. See, you will find that the wrinkle is gone. I don't want this eyes to be like so. See, I removed it. So this way, Alt and the healing brush tool works wonders to this lady, but not on top of that mountain. See, because uh, there is, see, you can almost remove all her wrinkles and everything and make her look, younger or whatever. So see, I have removed everything. Okay, so I will save this wrinkle to no wrinkle. Okay, this is the lady without without much wrinkle. You can't say any wrinkle. And see, sorry, I'll keep it next to each other. Wrinkle, no wrinkle, wrinkle. You saw that? So that I did with the second option. Second option. However, if I try the first option for this one, it's going to be looking bad. See, there are unwanted spots that are picking up. See there. So it is not as smooth as this. It has some problems if you work on that previous one. So you have to work and see which one fits the best. See, for removing a total background, I agree, spot healing tool is best. But if you are trying to copy something from somewhere and patching it to another one, then healing brush tool is better. Okay, so there's one more thing called patch tool. Can you see that there is something called patch tool? Even that is a very good tool. So that is like you select this area as a patch, you consider this as a patch and move that patch to a favorable position. This part of her cheek is much smoother. I just moved it. This is also a good method to remove certain things from the scene. It can be many. You just can't say it is only applied on a face. You can have a big photo of a bungalow, and you want the lawn to be spread everywhere, and remove the branches from there. It has to be applied in different ways. You have to test it a little bit. I can't go on taking I won't be able to explain it any further, because you have to find out solutions with these tools. I can just introduce these tools and how it works. Yes, definitely I can tell you how it works. This one this one and healing brush tool are similar. In healing brush tool, we'll select an area which, by pressing alt, we'll select an area which has to be used for patching, and then blow the brush on it, on the area where it has to be adjusted. But in patch tool, it is just the reverse way. We just use the patch tool, select the area which is in trouble, for example this, and move it to the less trouble location. Okay, even then there are problems here, small problems. It is better to use healing brush tool and patch it very nicely without any patch works wonder. Actually, not patch, healing brush tool works wonder in this case. Okay, so I think you would have understood the difference between spot healing, healing brush, patch tool. Now let's go to the content aware move. Content aware move. So as the name suggests, it is a move where the content, it is aware about the content. So to have an example over here, I bought a fruit bowl here. Before going to content aware move, okay, we'll explain what is move, right? So to explain that, I'm using lasso. I'm selecting this particular grip selected. I'm selecting move and moving this. What happened? It moved the grape from here to there. But what happened? What is behind it, it doesn't know. So it put a white background. I'll explain it again. I'll change the white background into green background, right? And I will move this using this move. It becomes green. It is not aware that what is left behind. So what is behind this grape? So it doesn't know. So it just moved and patched with a background color. Now, what is content aware move? Content aware move is somewhere when you can use this content aware move, and if you draw this circle all around these grapes, okay, I want to try and correct this as better as possible. Very hard to select. Okay, probably I will use lasso. I'll use polygonal lasso so that it is slightly better. I don't want this area. Just clicking, and want to add this area, this green into it. Okay, so I've done this. So I'm cutting like this so that it doesn't worry about the other part of the grape. So slowly, if you pick one by one, nearer to nearer, so you can use this lasso tool or a polygonal lasso tool also. Helpful for content aware move tool. Content aware move tool, it will be helpful. Sorry, supposed to give alt and remove that. Instead of that, I added that. Okay, Now I'll go to content aware move. Okay, I'll use content aware move and move this here and press enter. You know what happened? It moved the grape this side. Okay, there are some small distortions, but still this is far better than the earlier one. I'm moving this content aware move, keeping this grapes somewhere here. Okay, and press enter. So it sort of recognize what is below the grapes. Okay, not fully, but then it is able to recognize to certain extent. Maybe I'll use healing brush tool and patch this area very easily. Press this. Sorry, very sorry. I did a small mistake of not giving deselect. Where's history? Yeah, okay. Let's content aware move. Okay, so here I can make some adjustment by using spot healing. I can heal this and make it look as though this part is still the black tray. So you can make a patch out of it and you know try to make look that this tray is still existing without any problem. Okay, okay. All this you can do, or you can even use history. I'll try instead of healing brush. Okay, I can very well use this patch. Okay, I'll select this area. Select this area. Okay, move this patch further here. Twice or thrice if you move. And then use a healing brush to heal this. So you can remove things with content aware move very easily. This grape is lying down here. You can move it here. You can place it anywhere and look as though you have taken that part of it. Okay, so that is about content aware move. Okay, so as content aware move, it is there over here. Last but not least in this one is red eye reduction, red eye tool. So what is red eye tool? It's nothing great. What about this lady? She doesn't have a red eye. So I will go to yeah, this lady is that she has a red eye. Sometimes when you take a photo, I don't think it's that important now. Many of the cameras itself will detect red eye and then erase it. If not, you open the photo here and click on red eye and just do like this. It will become a normal eye. So that is about image editing tool. These are the tools which I thought I will cover yesterday fully, but then I didn't cover everything. Okay, so that is all about image editing or image modification, which is possible. Sorry, image not modification, manipulation tools that are available in this menu. And okay, in here there is one more image modification manipulation tool. This is a manipulation tool. These are all manipulation tool. Okay, so I hope you would have understood what is manipulation. Manipulation is more trickier, and editing is a very straightforward thing. Okay, here again, clone stamp. This is a big image manipulation tool. Most of the things can be done using clone stamp. Many corrections. I'll come to I think I'll come to a scenario we use it in architectural itself. Uh, okay. Mm, yeah, that's nice. We have this picture of a villa. Mm, my goodness. So I will save this project. Yeah, exactly to 14, and I will you open this um, class 14. I'll open this one. Now this is such a nice villa, but then you have this pipe, you know, crawling like snake in the lawn, which really is not that appealing. So you wanted to remove. This situation will arise for you when you work in your office, or when you're running your own office, where you want to keep some good picture of your project. Maybe you would not have hired a photographer for that particular project, and you would have taken with your in a hurry before this, housewarming and all that. They'll call you, they'll go take pictures. At that time there'll be pandal, there'll be that, there'll be this. Your house is not as beautiful as it is thought to be, and only then the problem picks up. You don't have a good record of what you have done, good work that you have done. So in that case, okay, there are two solutions for this. As I told you, we have cropping, which means cutting the photo in such way that unwanted things are not seen, like this. This is one example where you can use cropping effectively. The second option is that no, I want the background, I mean the foreground, with a beautiful lawn in the front, which is much needed to show the extent of the land and everything. So at that time you can use this clone stamp S, or shift S. Shift S is the um, keyboard shortcut. There are two clone stamp. One is called pattern stamp tool, which I'm not going to teach you now. Once pattern is taught, I'll teach you that. Clone stamp, which is a very essential tool. You can use this. There is no pattern symbol over there. They're like that. There's just a stamp symbol. Press S and press Alt to pick the source, like in healing brush tool, and do like this. Do like this. It will cover up all your uh, okay. Now when you do this, sometimes it doesn't happen so well because opacity is not made to maximum. So that's done, done. So here is where you have to be a little more careful. Press S, press Alt, and pick the source from here. Make right click the brush and reduce the size, because you need to penetrate and go like this, go like this, go like this. I don't want to disturb that nice shadow that is created over there. Okay, I erased this fully, not noticeable. Now, but what to do for what is under the shadow? What has to be done for things under the shadow? That is the question, right? Yeah, we can handle that too. Just have to zoom it, press yeah, right click and reduce the size even further. Press Alt and click here so that you'll get that symbol over there, and then keep drawing. Okay, Here you give one draw like this. Here it is, sorry, alt and alt here, alt here, alt here, alt here. So you go on doing like this. Wherever there is shadow, pick up the source from shadow itself. Pick up the source from the shadow itself. That's the trick now. Now what happens to in between? Pick up the source from, not from shadow. Okay, okay. So here source from the shadow, shadow, source from non-shadow area. Here there is only one small gap. Yeah. No one will know that ever that there was a what do you call, pipe laying down over here. It's completely covered. To make it even more irregular, increase the size, drag few times into this. Okay, so that it looks like it is a mixture of 2 or 3 types of grass. It looks very decent and nice. So you will never have a trace of that particular pipe that was lying down here. So that is how clone stamp tool works. Okay, so now here I have covered most of this. Okay, now the only thing is that I have to start with history brush tool and art brush tool, and then erase background, magic eraser. All these tools I have to start with. So I think I am going to stop end my class today over here. Okay, before I end, I also wanted to tell you some of the important commands in Photoshop, and with that I will end today. Okay, so now see, I have been only opening samples and I was trying to show you what can be done, what changes can be done, and all that. Okay, so I was just opening one by one. I opened the samples, and I was So I was working on those samples. I have never told you what is an image size, what is a canvas size. So we have to know about those things also. And I will think I'll spend 10 minutes on image size and canvas size and make you understand what is that, how is it important. Now every image, be it this, every image has a size. And how will you know the image size? Go to image size. If you click, it will tell you the image size and a resolution. So now this image size is written in pixel. You can see it in inches. A small one, 7 inch by 4 inch, 96. That is the resolution. I'll explain that now. So this is what I wanted to explain. In centimeter, it will be 11 centimeter. I'm sorry, 19 centimeter by 11 centimeter is the size of this image. Okay. Now the true size of a digital image is understood by the pixels. Hmm? So anything which has width and height lesser than 1000, lesser than 1000, less than 1024 is not even a megapixel. Something like that. It's a very small image, and it may not be very good for printing. So any image which is above 1000 here and 1000 here is only a decent image size, which is good for printing. There is, see, image size. I'll show you what is image size. This is slightly okay. This is 1024 but 768. What is this image size? This is a good image size, no doubt. How about this lady? This is a very small one, 424. So a decent image size for printing is this is a very big one, 4000. This is a good resolution. Any decent resolution that can be printed will be In pixel, it will be above 1024. The pixel resolution will remain the same, whereas inches, all this, it will, there are difference in sizes. Those are sizes. Um, there'll be a variation in the sizes. I'll explain to that. That is because, see, here there is something called 72. 72 is something like a base resolution for any image. 72 is a web resolution, and it is a base resolution for any image. Any image need to be 72 resolution. Okay, what does 72 may mean? 72 means, if you divide, see, if you divide a square inch, okay, if you take an inch, inch, unit of measurement, inch, British measurement, in 1 inch there can be 72 dots of color information. So that make up this clarity of the image. 72 is just the base. 300 is a very good resolution for printing. 300 is very good resolution for printing, and 150 is something in between. It is kind of okay, it's okay. Image 150 resolution is a okay resolution for printing. 72 is a base resolution, just about okay to print. 150 is okay, good, and 300 you can say is the best possible resolution for printing. There are resolutions in image up to 1200, 1600, and all that. We don't use that because of the problem of complexity of the image. Image will be very heavy. Now, okay, see here there is an image size in terms of kilobyte. See, megabyte, 2.25 MB for an image of this size. We saw one small photo. This one, you see, it is only 645 KB. That is because the image size is pretty less. There are bigger sizes. There are bigger sizes. Okay, I'll go to recent and open one of my this thing. So this image size is 10 MB, and it is 2048 by 1756 is the image size. So it's a very good image size, and this is almost taking 10 MB. If this resolution is 150, maybe if it is 150, that 10 MB will become 42 MB. Okay, so these are all the things which you will measure an image size in terms of dimension, in terms of length and height, or width and height. It is measured in pixel and all these things. Okay, but in terms of size, image size, this is image length and width, and this is image size, and volume of the file is always indicated by byte, kilobyte, megabyte, terabyte, and all that. Okay, so this is that. So where do you get all these image sizes? It is over here. You will get the image sizes. Now, if you are working on an assignment, first of all, if you want to produce some AD sheet, first question you should ask your teacher is what size we have to present our sheet. Is there any restriction on the size, or is there any standard size we all have to follow? That should be the first question. Why? Because if you are starting on Photoshop, you will have to know, you will have to keep the correct size when you go for file and new. What is the problem here? Here I have to give the size in millimeter, and also I have to give the resolution of the sheet size. Please remember this. So it's always, if you are given an assignment, if I say come and say make a poster for this college event, for a college fashion parade run by the Department of Architecture, I mean School of Architecture, to invite all the other college students to come and participate. So if I say that, first thing you should ask is, sir, what is the poster size? What is the size we have to design the poster? Because to start with, you need the poster size. and it is best kept in the beginning. Now I'm saying you can change the size little later also, but it is a headache for you as you work. As you work, if you want to change the size of a poster or anything, it is a headache for you. So once if you know the poster size and things like that, then you know what size, what resolution image can be imported in. Or if someone is giving some image for photo manipulation, like this is a worst case scenario. If someone tells, oh, this is someone's photo and I want to remove all these wrinkles, make her look beautiful or something, then you should ask for a good image. You can't take a photo like where's that small photo? Take a photo like this and try to do all the manipulation. It will look very bad. Even though you have done a good job, the photo resolution is not great. You can see pixel already. With the two zooms, you can see the pixel already. But in this, you know how many zooms, it still doesn't show the pixel. Pixel is not very clearly seen now. I have zoomed 300 times. Three times I have made it big. So in fifth time, slightly I can see pixel. Sixth time, I can see the pixel very clearly. You understood? So that is the size of the image. So, but here itself, I can see the pixel. Fourth time, sixth time, prominent. It can be seen very clearly. Okay. So these are the different things which you should be knowing, and I think I will clearly teach you how to select an image, how to import an image, and all that when I teach you. When I start with file new, that is when, and I'll teach you how to compose a um, architectural design sheet. At that point I will teach you all these things once more, but right now you are supposed to know two things very clearly. How is color represented? It is represented through RGB, CMYK, HSB or LAB, or through web color. That you should be knowing this. And the second important thing you should be knowing is what is image size, how are they represented, what is image size here, and what is the length and width of the image, and what is a resolution. What is a resolution? It is nothing but dots that make up 1 inch of a 1 inch length of an image. So if I have, okay, if I have, let's give a new scenario. So if I use a millimeter, I'll take it as a pixel. I'll do 72 by 72, and the resolution also is 72. So create. So see, this is the size. So in this, how many pixels will be there? You tell me in total. In total, it will be 72 into 72. This many pixels will be there. 518 pixels will be there. 5184 pixels will be there in this small area. It's a very small area, and in that much of pixels will be there. Just a minute, I'll come to that picture. Oh my goodness, yeah. So in a square pixel, that many small dots of pixels will be there. These are pixels. Understood? So okay, if I make it small, so that many pixels will be there in this. area. Okay, so this will make a clear idea about how the pixels work, understood? So if you count, there'll be 72 like this, 72 like this, understood? So I just want to make things clear for you, so that is why I did that. Okay, so thank you so much. So in tomorrow's class we'll go with the next few tools, and I am hoping in another two classes we'll start with how to compose with sheets and everything, and give you a good idea about how to compose sheets. In general about Photoshop also, you can work on many other projects like posters or uh, college day poster, things like that, which eventually you'll be participating in. You can win competitions also regarding poster making. So until then, bye.